Hello, folks. Welcome in. Welcome in. I think I got Frontier Survival is here. I'm not sure how accurate the count is. It says there's nobody in here, but in the chat I see Frontier Survival did say howdy, so we may have him in the house. Gonna get this going just to have it. We may have him in the house. Welcome in. This might be my least prepared live that I've done. I just kind of threw it together. Force One to Bite Fishing is in the house. Welcome in. It's good to have you. Give it a few minutes, see if people trickle in or don't trickle in, as it were. I guess we'll see. I titled this live stream my 10 favorite things. And of course, I will encourage the people in chat to share their favorite things. This is going to be like my 10 favorite things about fishing and my 10 favorite things about hunting. And I might expound into my 10 favorite things about other outdoors activities. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I just threw this together. This is a little bit winging it for me tonight. I've been swamped, let me tell you. I don't know if you guys do aquariums. I do, and I'm probably getting a little bit too wound up with it. I just set up my 9th aquarium. It is a 125 gallon aquarium. So that runs 6 feet long and I think 18 inches front to back, and then two feet tall, I believe, or 30 inches tall, something like that. It's ridiculously big. I'm pretty much finalized it today. I got a few finishing touches of cleaning it up to go yet, but it's ready for fish. I've got some, excuse me. I'm okay. I'm fine. I've got a shipment of fish coming in Friday, so their home is ready. So I'm excited to get those. I've got some other tanks in the other room. They need water changes, so the water's low. So if you hear what sounds like water dripping or pouring in the background, that's just my fish tanks. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome in. I hope you're doing good on this Wednesday night. Wherever you are in the world, I'm not sure what kind of weather you got, but here in Ohio, we got dumped on with a solid 2 inches of snow last night. So I was not excited to wake up and see that this morning. I mean, that's terrible for a fisherman, man. That sets everything back. We had the spring was going good. M&K Outdoors, welcome in. Great to have you. Thanks for stopping in. The Reef Robber, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. But man, like I said, everything was start kind of coming together for our spring and the fishing season, man. The spawn was about to start rocking here in about the next week. But man, that snow, you get an inch of snow, man, I'm sure that's dropping the water temperature a good 3, 4, 5 degrees and setting everything back about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, I know there's warm weather in the forecast, so we'll see how that shakes out. Frontier Survival says they only got a dusting in Kentucky, so that's good. That's not too bad. A dusting is probably not going to have a big impact on the lakes and the rivers and that sort of thing. Oh yeah, Force One to Bite is in Ontario. Yeah, I'm sure you guys got a pile of snow up there. Whoo. And then the Reef Robber says it was 80 degrees in Oregon today. Wow. That sounds beautiful. M&K Outdoors is going to have the 20s in New Jersey. We don't like that, do we? We don't like it. It's terrible. We don't. Man, it's just like I said. This spring has been pretty good, at least in my neighborhood. Things were really, really going well, and we have not had a lot of rain and precipitation. So while everything is greening up, the grass and the trees and the bushes, we're to the point now that if we would get dumped on with a bunch of rain, I don't think we'd have much runoff. Oh no, the boat is full of snow. Yeah, I store my boat in the garage, so she doesn't get a bunch of snow in her unless I'm out, in the boat fishing and it snows. Although I did use it for hunting last fall, but I don't know if I got snowed on. I might have got rained on a time or two. I can't remember being in the boat and got snowed on. I might have had sleet. I'm not sure. Tina Ladybug is stopping in the house. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. I hope you're well on this Wednesday, April 21st evening. I don't know. We're a few minutes into this. I suppose I could hit my my thumbnail subject for this live. Talk Bucktails Outdoors. Hey, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. That's great. So yeah, this live, I called it my 10 favorite things, and specifically, I'm gonna just throw out there my 10 favorite things about fishing. Then I'll move on to hunting, and then maybe we can do some other things. And I do hope that you guys will share in the chat some of your favorite things about fishing. Okay, these are my top 10 favorite things about fishing, and these are not ranked. This isn't a ranking. This is a random order. The last one is kind of the most important, but all the others, it's just random. It's just random. Okay, here we go. Number one. My number one favorite thing about fishing is just nature. Just being out in nature, watching all the things that bloom and show their colors, the geese honking and loons doing their coo, and all the sounds of nature. The water, the wind through the trees. Add it all up, man, and I just call it nature, and that is certainly one of my favorite things about fishing. Number two on the list is peace and quiet. I don't know what you guys do for work. My work is actually office work, and I work at home. So I don't have a whole lot of helter-skelter or busy buzzing and all that, but just life gets busy, right? So to get out on a lake or to take the kayak out to a creek or a river and just be lost in the middle of nowhere for 6 or 8 hours in a day, that's really that peace and quiet, man, that soothes my soul. That totally soothes my soul, and that's definitely one of my favorite things about fishing. Small water charters in the house. John, good to see you. You guys are driving. Do be careful. Tom Celtic and Everything Outdoors. He likes the peace and quiet too. He can definitely relate. We like that. I got Survival LT in the house. I feel like I'm I feel like I'm repeating myself. Welcome in. It's good to have you. Moving on to number 3 on my list for my top 10 favorite things that I love about fishing is hook sets. Man, when you just rear back and that rod loads up, I don't care if you're bluegill fishing, if you're bass fishing, if you're walleye fishing, if you're trout fishing, if you're catfishing, man, that hook set and that rod loads up. I think most people, that puts a smile on their face for sure. For sure. Let's see. Moving on to number 4. Now, this one is for my muskie fishing friends. That when a muskie follows, that's my number 4. on the list of my favorite things about fishing. It's not that it's totally unique to muskies. It's just that they are notorious for it, and it will just your heart just explodes in your chest when, especially if it's a big one, and it's right up on the lure, and you're trying to get them to eat it at the side of the boat, the figure eight, and all that stuff. It's exhilarating. Even if you don't get them to eat, you don't get to enjoy the hook setting, the hero shot, and all those things. If they just chase that bait and then they tuck under and they swim off, man, it's exciting. It's exhilarating. It's probably the next closest thing to that I could compare it to is like when you're bass fishing with a topwater lure and you get a blow up, but it doesn't hook up. It's very similar feeling. Like you knew there was a big fish that was right there, and it didn't happen, but it almost happened. So musky fowls are definitely number 4 on my list of favorite things about fishing. And I've got Shasta Valley Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in. Good to have you. Glad to see you here. Thanks for popping in. Let's move on to number 5 of my top 10 favorite things about fishing. And this is a little bit old school, and it's a little bit classic. When that bobber goes down, right? If you're bluegill fishing or if you're crappie fishing, sometimes you're trout fishing. Even some guys fish big steelhead and they use bobbers. When that bobber goes down and disappears, man, that's exciting. That's exciting. Well, again, I think that puts a smile on all of our faces. So, yes, definitely. Number 5 of my favorite things about fishing is bobber down. Welcome in, Laura the Explorer. It's good to see you. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, you're busy rushing around. Sure. I totally get it. I can totally relate. I've been so busy. I didn't even know if I was going to do this. Like I said, when I first opened, I'm kind of winging it. I just didn't get a lot of time to prepare, but we move on, right? We trudge on. We're doing it. I did throw some things on paper, and I'll try to stay focused and keep it moving tonight. What are we? We're to my number 6. Please feel free to throw out your favorite things in the chat. I see some people are sounding off on the things that I have said, and they're kind of in agreement, or they like it too. I do have Shasta Valley Outdoors says his favorite thing is he likes eating fish. Absolutely. And see, my live last week I talked about food, so we did our favorite recipes. So yeah, definitely eating fish. That's a big one. The hours do fly by, Laura. That's for sure. We are to my number 6 favorite thing about fishing, and for those of you that fish walleyes, the dead stick feel of a walleye hitting when you're casting, whether it's lures or even live bait. I just love that feeling. Again, Lake Erie is a special place for me. I've fished that for many years, and it's a tremendous walleye fishery. And yeah, there's just something about that feel. It's a unique. It's usually not a bounce your rod type of thing. It's just they show up and you set the hook and your rod just is straight down and you got a good wall. Absolutely love that feel. Bucktails Outdoors says topwater blowups. That's one of his favorite things. And funny enough, you're advancing me right along here because that's my number 7 of my top favorite things about fishing. Number 7, topwater bass blowups. And I guess I mentioned bass here, but that could be anything really. I'd say bass is probably the most common species that I I specifically use top water baits. I do it very sparingly with muskie. Here in Ohio, our muskies they'll do it, but boy, they're pretty reluctant. There's a couple of specific lakes that you get a little bit more action on top water. Here in Central Ohio, it's almost unheard of. And it takes really unique conditions. I heard guys say that if it's raining, especially if it's pouring rain or a good steady rain, cloudy, overcast, dark, they don't do it a lot when it's a bright sunshiny day. Now, I've heard from other Ohio muskie anglers they have good success at other lakes like Leesville or Piedmont or West Branch. Might be a little bit more conducive to that. And of course, Canada and Minnesota and Wisconsin. I know that those fish will eat top raters and they'll blow up on the top water benches. Laura the Explorer asked, did I mention the bend rod? No, but well, I kind of mentioned it when I mentioned hook set. That was my number 3. Love when set the hook and then that rod bends and loads up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely love that. And I don't care what you're fishing for. If you're fishing for bass or muskies or trout or tarpon or barracuda or some of the saltwater fish that'll blow up on top water bait, snook or tarpon. Top water fishing is definitely a thrill. It is definitely a thrill. Most people get pretty excited about it, and I'm no different. That's my number 7 on the list of favorite things about fishing. I was going to click on something here and forget what it is. Pretty cool when you get that splash of a big rainbow trout coming up from the bottom. Yeah, that's what I was going to click. Shasta Valley Outdoorsman in the house. Welcome. And he enjoys that when you get that first flash of a big rainbow trout coming up from the bottom. That gets his attention. It gets him excited. That's awesome. That gets a 2 thumbs up right there. White bass fishing, says Survival LT. Man, I tell you what, when they're running, you can get into some white bass and it can be left and right in every cast or every other cast. And that can be a lot of fun action. And you get into some 14, 15, 16-inch white bass, and that's a blast for sure. Small Water Charter says he had a big one hooked today and it jumped up in the air and threw the lure and nose hurt. That might be the 10 things that you hate the most about fishing. We're focusing on the positive tonight. That's tough, John. That's tough. We all feel your pain on that one. And when you say it's big, I know you're talking about a special fish because 4-pounders aren't making you cry about it usually. So what are we at? We're at number 8. We're at number 8 of my top 10 favorite things about fishing, and that is releasing big fish, especially fish that, in my mind, I treat as a trophy. Smallmouth bass, especially in creeks and streams. I don't know if you folks know this. To get a smallmouth bass, I was part of a conservation club, the Ohio Smallmouth Alliance, and we got a lot of exposure to fisheries biologists and lots of different information and scientific information about the fish, and learned a ton. And in most North American streams and rivers, it takes a smallmouth bass 15 years to grow to 18 inches. That's a long, long time. That's a long, long time. And so as conservationists, we want to take care of the resource, right? So I am a big fan of eating fish. And when I eat fish, I usually target table fare type fish, crappies and bluegills and perch, sometimes saugeye or walleye, almost never bass. I won't say that I wouldn't eat bass. There are circumstances I certainly would. And I would usually target the smaller one. I'd be trying to catch, 10, 12, 13-inch bass, and I'd maybe eat a couple of those. You're calling out the I don't know if you call them juvenile, but the younger fish, and creating less competition for those trophy fish. So bass to me are trophy fish, and muskie are a trophy fish, and I love releasing those big fish. I absolutely love releasing big fish. So that's my number 8 of my top 10 favorite things about fishing is releasing those big fish. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Shasta Valley Outdoorsman likes to smoke trout. That sounds delicious. Like you're making me hungry already, and I did have dinner. Whew. Wow. Okay. He's talking about smoking trout, and that's a nice little segue into my number 9. My number 9 favorite thing about fishing is eating fresh crappie. That is my favorite fish to eat. Perch is really, really close. Yellow perch is really, really close. Second, bluegill is a close third. All 3 of those fish are really, really, really good table fare, especially fresh. We got cranking and yanking in the house. Welcome in. Good to have you. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, fresh crappie and the iron skillet, boy, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. I haven't come across anything that is better than that yet. So who knows? I hope I got many more decades to live on this big round globe. Maybe one day I'll discover a fish that is even better eaten than crappie. But fresh crappie, especially caught out of cold water this time of year, that's tough to beat. And I know some of you watched my crappie video from last Friday. Well, I think the fishing was on Friday and the video was on Saturday. But anyway, yeah, those were tasty. That was my first fresh crappie of 2021. So I'm looking forward to a lot more of that for sure. Okay. And we're to number 10. And these weren't ranked, but this one does stand above the rest. My number 10 thing, ultimately my favorite thing about fishing, is fishing with friends and with family members. Man, I tell you what, that there's just something about it that makes it better. It always makes it better. I think that's in my about that the outdoors is better enjoyed with family and friends, and that's true. That is very, very true. It's one of my favorite things about fishing is spending time with friends, spending time with family members, and getting out and enjoying nature and enjoying peace and quiet and enjoying hook sets and getting excited about musky follows and watching the bobber go down and the dead stick feel of a walleye bite and the top water bass bite and then releasing the big fish and eating fresh crappie and doing all of this with good friends and with family. That's the best. That is just the absolute best. Lindia from Small Water Charters is popping in. Hello. Good to see you. Caught 21 today. That's a 2 thumbs up. That's a pretty good day out there in Donkey Land, huh? That's fantastic. That is fantastic. That's a good fishing report right there, folks. They caught 21 nice fish down there in Donkey Land. Man, that is fantastic. Love it. Yeah, 20 for her and 1 for John. Oh, boy. On 2 different lakes. Wow, you guys were popping around. Fishing some different water. That's exciting. Absolutely. That'll be my bonus, right? Exploring new water. That's my bonus favorite thing about fishing is getting out on exploring new water. I did a lot of that last year in 2020. I fished Piedmont Lake for the first time ever. I fished Lake Milton for the first time ever here in Ohio. I fished Caesars Creek Lake down near Dayton, Ohio for the first time ever. So I definitely explored some new water last year, and that was definitely exciting. That's my bonus favorite thing about fishing. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Lindy agrees with me. That's a lot of fun. It's neat. It's neat to check out someplace new. Okay. Who's ready for some favorite things about hunting? I don't know. It is turkey season is open in most places now. Well, here in Ohio, we've got Saturday. It opens Saturday. Turkey season opens. We had a youth season was this past weekend, and then Saturday it opens. I can't remember if they split the state and there's a north and a south, or if we just all open on Saturday. But I know somewhere in Ohio you can hunt this Saturday for turkeys. And I think most states it's open. Yeah, going south for the peacock bass, absolutely. That's a bucket list fish. I still want to. Oops, this was the one I meant to do. I still want to get down there and find a way to catch some of those fish that are on my bucket list. The peacock bass is on my bucket list. A snook is on my bucket list. A tarpon is on my bucket list. All those fish are just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I watched a fishing show. I don't do that much these days. If I watch it at fishing, I watch it on YouTube. But to watch a fishing show on TV, I haven't done that in 5 or 6 years. But back when I used to, I remember watching an episode, a Shaw Grigsby's fishing show, and he went out on the ocean and he was fishing topwater baits for barracuda. And when he hooked up with he didn't have a lot of hookups, but when he hooked up with one, it was like he was hooked to a missile. I mean, his drag was just screaming, and it must have ripped out 100 yards of line before he was able to turn that fish. And then he's just playing catch up, right? Because the fish is coming at him at full speed, and they're just ridiculous how fast they can swim. So I don't know if I could ever get on a topwater barracuda bite like Shaw Grisby did that day, but man, it sure looked like it was pretty freaking incredible. Okay, I've lost half the group, but I'm still going to press on. I hope that they come back because there's some channel shout outs at the end of this. You know, those are critical. Here we go. My top 10 favorite things about hunting. Okay, one of my favorite things about hunting is, especially in the mornings, is watching the woods wake up. You got all the different birds will start chirping and chattering, and you go from darkness to subtly watching the light expand through the trees, through the woods. It's just a special feeling, man. The Reef Robber has got the whole Pacific Ocean to explore. That's a lot of water, man. That is a lot of water to explore, for sure. For sure. I bet you've got some honey holes, though. I bet you've got a honey hole or two, anyway. Okay, my number 2 favorite thing about hunting is sunsets. Being in the woods and watching the sunset, especially on a bluebird sky day with little to no wind, and the critters usually coming out, especially when that sun sets. It's just kind of a magical time in the woods. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Come on down, absolutely. Number 3 favorite thing about hunting is moonrise. It's especially cool when it's a full moonrise, which tends to rise kind of in the late afternoon, early evening, right around sunset. But man, watching that moon rise, especially in mid to late October, it can be a magical time too. So that's part of it, right? I've had some pretty awesome encounters when that has happened. So now anytime I see that, it kind of gets me excited, right? It gets me juiced up, like, man, it's going to happen. Love to watch the moon rise. Number 4 favorite thing about hunting. This is specific to deer hunting because I haven't done a lot of hunting for elk or moose or caribou or anything else that would rut. But the rut, especially for whitetail deer, that's my number 4 favorite thing about hunting. The rut is when the big mature bucks get kind of excited. They're going to be more inclined to be on their feet during daylight hours. So that's huge as a deer hunter. We definitely are always keying in on the rut. And anytime we see rutting action, we're pumped up because we know that gives us a good opportunity to knock down a big mature buck. Absolutely. Absolutely my number 4 favorite thing. My number 5 favorite thing about hunting is cruising bucks. A lot of times, even if I'm not hunting, if I'm busy working or busy running kids here or there, or I'm driving around for whatever reason, family function, a wedding, God knows what, I'll be scanning the fields and the edges of the woods from the road, and to see a cruising buck just gets my juices flowing, man. Even though I'm not in a hunting situation, that's my favorite thing about hunting. It's just any opportunity that I get in the fall, October, November, see a cruising buck. It always gets me excited. Always gets me excited. Number 6. We're to number 6. I'm racing through the hunting. I'm not very good at pinpointing my camera on my laptop. We're racing through my top 10 favorite things about hunting. Number 6 is close encounters. Whenever you can get whether it's a buck or even a doe, any kind of even a turkey or whatever you're pursuing, if you can get it close and within range, and maybe there's too much brush or maybe for whatever reason it didn't come together, something happened or whatever. It isn't always about killing that animal. When you have a close encounter and you get them within range and you had them right there, man, that's exciting. That's exciting. And it gets me going. That's my number 6 favorite thing about hunting is close encounters with wildlife, no matter what I'm pursuing. If I can get them, especially white-tailed deer within about 20, 30 yards, I usually seal the deal. But this past fall, man, that was a mess. Living MN Outdoors, Daniel, welcome in. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Are you guys going live tonight? I'll certainly try to pop over and catch that if you guys are. I hadn't looked at the YouTube menu for a long time, so I don't even know who's doing what tonight. As I said when I opened, I've been so busy. I just kind of was winging it tonight. I almost didn't even know if tonight was going to happen. Here we go. We're what are we up to? Number 7. My number 7 favorite thing about hunting is great shots. That's awesome. Cool. That's good to see. Not yet. If I'd have got it, I was going to wear it for my live tonight, but it hasn't come yet. I bet it'll come tomorrow. So I'll be sporting that next Wednesday. You'll get the double thumbs up on that. I'll be sporting that next Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that for sure. But yeah, my number 7 favorite thing about hunting is great shots, whether it's on a deer, on a turkey, or any kind of game, man. When you release that shot or pull that trigger and you drilled it, man, that's just such a great feeling. That makes us all smile. And especially from an ethical hunter standpoint, we don't ever want to wound the animal, right? We don't want them to go off and suffer. We are all aiming for great shots. We want that good, clean, ethical kill. And when we get it, especially right, like on a bow, or right when I release the arrow and I know it's in the boiler plate, that's just awesome. That's a great feeling. It's an absolutely great feeling. Best Friend Outdoors, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to have you. Thanks for stopping in. Really, really appreciate it. Where are we at here? Oh, number 8. Anyway, number 8, my top 10 favorite things about hunting is frosty mornings, especially with no wind. You get a good hard frost and there's no wind and it's cold and you just know the critters are going to be moving. You just know they're going to be on their feet and moving around. They love those conditions and I do too. So anytime it's the morning, I'm going hunting in the pre-dawn darkness and I see a good hard frost and there's not a stitch of wind. Love it. That is that's my number 8 thing that I absolutely love about hunting. I don't know. If I was spring turkey hunting, I might not love a good hard frost. Excuse me. I'm fine. I might get some water, but I'm fine. I don't generally dress as warm when I'm turkey hunting. I like for that weather to be a little bit warmer. Maybe a low of 45 to 50 and a high of about 60, 65. That's good turkey hunting. That's what I like anyway. But deer hunting is give me that frosty morning, nice, cool, still morning. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Number 9 favorite thing about, I don't know why this is so difficult. My number 9 favorite thing about hunting is a stealth approach, especially if I can use water. If I'm deer hunting around a reservoir or a river or a creek, and I can paddle my canoe or my kayak in, and it's a stealth approach that I make practically no disturbance to the woods whatsoever, and I find that deer don't usually pay that much attention to what's going on out on the water. They just don't get a lot of threats from out on the lake or the river. So you can't willy-nilly it. You can't, go in there whistling and singing and whatnot and think that's going to work. But if you're being sneaky and you use water, that's a fantastic way to set yourself up to ambush your prey. I see we got Owls Outdoors in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in. I know you do trapping and hunting and stuff. Share your favorite things about hunting, man. Throw some things out there. Best Friend Outdoors, you can do the same. Living in Man Outdoors, throw out there a couple things. LG Homestead, welcome in. Good to have you. Good to have you here. Thanks for stopping in. Where was I? Oh yeah, my number 9 favorite thing about hunting is the stealth approach. It has put me in really good position a lot of times. I haven't always capitalized on it, but that's the way hunting goes. It's not called killing season. It's called hunting season. So I love the pursuit. I'm gonna make that my bonus thing, the favorite thing about hunting. But for now, we got to get to my number 10 favorite thing about hunting, and that is tenderloins wrapped in bacon on the grill. Right? Right? We absolutely love eating our game. I think most of us do. Awkward shape behind that fish. It's a West Virginia, Ohio. Yeah, I don't know if I have it crooked or on the wall. It's crooked. I think the camera angle makes it look crooked or something. Oh, You're from Ohio. Come on now. Al. You're being a stinker. You're being a stinker. I would ban you, but I only got 10 people in here. I need everybody I can get. Oh my goodness. We love that shape. We're Buckeyes. OHIO. Go Bucks. Okay. Enough of that. Yeah, my number 10 favorite thing about hunting is tenderloins wrapped in bacon on the grill. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite game food there is. Um, hey, you're in West Virginia, but aren't you from Ohio? Or did you just live in Ohio for a while? I thought you were from Ohio. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway. Oh, that's my top 10 things. And then my bonus, I touched on it a moment ago, but my bonus for my favorite things about hunting is the pursuit. It's just that pursuit. You are trying to outdo that cagey critter, whether it's a turkey or it's a deer or it's a coyote or it's a duck or it's a caribou or it's an elk or it's a mountain lion. I don't know. Whatever you like to hunt, bear. Okay, Al, you lived here for 14 years, but I guess maybe you're from West Virginia, so you're a mountaineer through and through, huh? Well, okay, yeah, maybe you're not crazy about the Buckeyes, but anyway, I am. I live in Ohio, brother. And I'm from here. Grew up here. Born and raised. I got the Indians hat. I mean, come on. Everybody knows I'm a Buckeye. Um, born and raised here in Ohio. I'll be a Buckeye fan all my life. Yep. The Reef Robber says when he shoots nutria, he loves to blow them up. I bet that's exciting. I absolutely bet that is exciting for sure. For sure. Great fishing in Ohio, crowded fishing in Ohio is what we have. We have more pressure on our limited public waters than you can even fathom. I'd love to get up to Wisconsin. You want to talk about great fishing? Wisconsin's got some great fishing. I think Minnesota's got some really good fishing too. Land of 10,000 lakes. I mean, come on. And then there's Ontario. I mean, between Wisconsin and Ontario, Canada, that might be some of the best fishing in all the world for freshwater. I know Florida's got the bass and Texas has got bass and all those great things, but man, just the opportunities in Wisconsin and Ontario. They fish year round. They in the wintertime they get so much ice that they can fish the ice. Here in Ohio, if we get ice, it's usually unsafe. Or if we do get ice, it's here for what, a week? 2 weeks? I'm going to go buy a power auger to use it once or twice. It just doesn't work. But in Wisconsin, shit, they get 6-8 weeks of ice fishing. Their ice fishing is really, really good. You got guys like Daniel living MN Outdoors. He's got a whole house out there on the ice. They're camping out. The fishing is so good through the ice that they just camp out and live out there. It's fantastic. I want in on some of that. I want in on some of that. And they just have so much. I mean, oh my God, just the now I am a little bit biased. Right, Al. I hear you on that one. They've got so much that you can pursue, whether it's crappie or walleye or northern pike or muskie or lake trout or bass. it seems like just about any species you'd want to target, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Ontario has a crap ton of it. And it's really good fishing. Yellow perch, you know, I've seen 15, 16-inch yellow perch that from Minnesota, Wisconsin, maybe even some in Michigan. But Ohio, we even have yellow perch in Lake Erie. We don't get no 15, 16-inch jumbos like that. No, we get some 10 and 11 inches, I suppose. I suppose. Yeah, when he was hunting in North Carolina. Sure, sure. I've never hunted North Carolina, but I bet it's got some good hunting, especially for turkeys. Um, yeah. Well, one of the good things Ohio does for its hunting is that for deer, they only allow one buck. I know some states like Michigan they allow 2 bucks. I don't know if West Virginia still does. I think at one point they did allow more than 1 buck. Anytime you have that, it can make it tough for establishing a uh, trophy bucks in your deer herd. But um, I don't know that they spend their money better. They just get crap ton of it. There's so many people here, and then we even have a crap ton of out of state hunters because for the longest time we were the dirt cheapest place to buy over the counter deer tags. I think the prices come up just a little bit for out of staters, but it's still very very reasonable to come to Ohio and buy a deer tag. You don't have to be in a draw system like Iowa and Illinois and Kansas and Nebraska, and you got to wait 3 years, 5 years, 10 years to be able to hunt. Ohio, you just show up, pay for your tags, and go find a place to hunt. Not bad. Not bad. All right, I've rambled on. I've rambled on. I don't know if I'm going to go an hour tonight. Unless we want to 12 deer, 2 bucks or 3 deer total. Okay. Okay. Who else has favorite things that they want to share about fishing, about hunting, about camping, about the outdoors? Give me your suggestions. What are your what do you guys like? What do you enjoy? What do you get excited about? Lindia, you get excited about beating John, out fishing him. Is that what it does it for you? I'll tell you one of my favorite things as I'm waiting for folks to chime in. One of my favorite things about camping is a campfire. I absolutely love sitting around a campfire when I'm camping. It's one of the best things about camping. If I go camping and they tell me that they don't allow fires or that there's not going to be a campfire for whatever reason, it's a safety issue or whatever, I'm like, I'm out of here. That's kind of the whole point of camping is to sit around a campfire, have a beer or two, and hopefully somebody's got a guitar. I was not gifted with music, so I can't really play a musical instrument, but I can sure appreciate it. I've got some kayak fishing buddies that we usually camp in June down in southern Ohio, and we kayak and fish the creeks and rivers down there. And there's usually a few guys that bring guitar and they'll sit around a campfire at night and pick and sing and have a beer or two. It's a good old time, I'm telling you. But even outside of that scenario, just anytime I'm camping, I absolutely love a campfire. That's my favorite thing about camping. Yeah, outdoors. You like to take someone else and see that their joy and having success. I know a lot of people that turkey hunt that like to do that. They'll call for somebody else. They'll do the calling, set up maybe 10, 15, 20 feet behind them and try to call the gobbler right into the shooter's lap so they have a nice, easy shot. Yeah, I would. I threatened to ban him earlier, but he knows I don't have anybody in there. My numbers are weak, but that's all right. That's all right. I'm still pretty new to this stuff. I haven't even really gotten into pushing buttons and stuff. I brought someone up on panel one time. That was Daddy Duck 365. But yeah, I don't know. Probably is a lot more I could do with it, but I just haven't played with it and learned how to do it without breaking it. In fact, I feel like the screen is really, really small. I don't know if I can expand that. Well, I expanded it, and now I can't see the chat. What if I did that? That doesn't change anything. That doesn't change anything either. Okay. I'm done pushing buttons. Done pushing buttons. Okay, so we covered my 10 favorite things about fishing. We covered my 10 favorite things about hunting. And we covered my favorite thing about camping. And we did get a few folks chiming in here and there. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Daniel. Matt has a great channel. We love Matt. They're down there turkey hunting in Kentucky as we speak, I believe. Well, at this hour, probably not. They're probably sitting around a campfire, right? Enjoying a beverage, and maybe somebody has a guitar. I don't know, but I'm sure they're having a good time. I'm sure they're having a good time. I'm sure they're having fun down there. That would definitely be a good time. That would definitely be a good time. All right, folks. I don't really have anything else to ramble on about, but I do have my channel shout outs, and these are critical tonight. I've got five channel shout outs, and the first three some of you may have, and that's fine. And people that are in my community, I'm going to show the love. I'm going to show the support. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to shout you out. And I hope anybody that don't have them, you got to go get them because these are great channels. First one is Fish Snatcher. I'm going to shout out Fish Snatcher, the Fish Snatcher family. If you are not familiar with his channel, he does fishing, and he also does a lot of lives where he does the growing and the networking, and he'll share one of your videos if you give him permission. He usually does those lives on Fridays or Saturday evenings. Usually, I want to say usually Friday nights, but sometimes if he misses it, he'll do it on Saturday night. So you just got to be watching for when Fish Snatcher does his reaction lives. Yeah, he does the hook set, showing support to our brothers and sisters in the Fish Snatcher family. So if you don't have Fish Snatcher, go get Fish Snatcher. As always, for the channel shout outs, when I am done, I will add a link to their channel down in the description of this if you want to come back and pick up one of those channels. And then channel shout out number 2 is going to be for Daniel at Backwoods Barbarian. Super guy, Canadian brother. Love him. He's got a great channel, a lot of great content. If you haven't seen his video with the owl, where it's practically landing on his GoPro, it's absolutely fantastic. You got to go check out his channel. And then my number 3 channel shout out is going to be for Scum Dog Fishing. If you don't have Scum Dog Fishing, go out and get Scum Dog Fishing. He's got a great channel. It's as it says, it's fishing. It's predominantly about fishing. He's got a great channel. He's got a lot of great content out there. And my kid is over here trying to distract me. She's kind of sort of having a little bit of success, and she thinks it's hilarious. My number 4 channel shout out. I hope everybody in here has them, and that is another Daniel, Living MN Outdoors. He's got a great channel. Him and his gal Rachel, they do a great job. They do lives Wednesday nights at 9:30 Eastern. They kind of follow me. Maybe one night I'll go late enough that I can send all my folks over and rate them, but I just don't have that much to ramble on about. Probably if I could get to the point where I bring more people up and have them ramble on, I can go a little bit longer and we can do a raid. Now, how exciting is that, Daniel? Lindia says, watching the sunrise on the lake, and you're the only boat there, and it's so quiet except for the birds. I agree. That's a really good favorite right there, Lindia. Absolutely. And Al says that Daniel from Backwoods talks funny. He does talk a little bit funny, but I think I kind of like it. Them Canucks, man. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And now we're to channel shout out number 5. And this is for Railroader Outdoors and More. This is my best friend. He's just getting going. I think he's at 36 subscribers. I really want to push him up to 40, 45, maybe 50. Railroader Outdoors and More. It's spelled just like it sounds, but again, I'm going to be putting links down into the description after this. He's got some deer hunting videos. He's got some archery in the backyard videos. He's got some shorts. He's got some good mushroom hunting videos. Definitely go out. Please, please, please. This is the Boxy way, right? We show support. We watch the videos. We comment on the videos. We say that dork Kyle from Dark 30 Outdoors sent me over here. But if you like the content, do subscribe. But try to comment and thumbs up and give him a little bit of support. Get him going. I'd love to see him get up over 50 subscribers and really get excited about doing a lot of great things. He's as experienced and knowledgeable as me. He's a lot more knowledgeable on some things, especially when it comes to hunting morels. He's really, really good at that stuff. He's a pretty good turkey hunter too. So if you get a chance, check out Railroader Outdoors and More, his channel. Those are my channel shout outs. That's all I got for you, folks. Thank you. Shasta Valley Outdoorsman. Appreciate that. Showing the love, showing the support, the Boxy way. I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys stopping in, checking out my live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Bring you something even more exciting next week. And I really need to get out fishing more. I've got some days off from work coming up, and I'm done with fish tanks for a while. So I definitely have more fishing content coming. So be watching for that. And as always, thanks for watching.